你先把头像要不移到旁边就好。
OK，开始吧。
Hello everyone, we are Group 8. Our topic is the rise of citizen journalism. About this topic, we need to answer these three questions. The first one is assess the impact of citizen journalism on traditional news media. The second one is assess the challenges of verifying user-generated content. And the third one is assess the implications for the future of news. About the introduction, citizen journalism is a concept and a theory that emerged in the United States in the 1990s. Through digital platforms such as social media, blogs, and online forums, citizens can share their perspectives, report on local events, and contribute to public debates on issues of societal importance. The first point is the impact of citizen journalism on traditional news media. The rise of citizen news has two disadvantages and one advantage. Its advantage lies in its diverse and timely sources of information, and the disadvantage, the first one is citizen journalism lack of authenticity and stability, and the second drawback is the imperfect communication channels. The second point is the challenge of citizen news in verifying user-generated content. Therefore, the authenticity of these published contents needs to be extended, and there may be problems such as information representation, lack of knowledge, and false advertising. Secondly, there are legal and ethical issues. User-generated content may involve copyright, privacy, and other issues, as well as illegal behavior caused by some face-swapping videos generated by the emerging AI technology. The third point is the impact of citizen news on future news. The first one is it will promote the transformation of news dissemination methods, and second one is it will enhance news transparency, and the last one is it will promote the development of journalistic professionalism.
Then I'd like to share with you the review of relevant literature and theories and concepts. First, in the red section is the theories and concepts, and in the yellow section is small summary, and below the green section I started to cite the literature using three main areas, derived from the social learning theory model. The first part, because the class learned about the difference between early and modern times in terms of the means of communication available to people, I call it the evaluation of books and newspapers, where the biggest advancement was driven by the discovery of movable type printing, where e-books print media then followed. And where there was a foundation of media, there was a superstructure of citizen journalism. Next, I cited the magical bullet theory, which focused on the fact that reviews are not completely passive to media messages, but rather that mass media cannot directly change the attitudes of the majority of the population, and that influence is limited. Media influence is limited by leaders. Next, through the pro-social effects of the media, I used the social learning theory model to explain. Next, I could conduct a search for a relevant lecture. First of all, for individuals, communication theory has changed the way individuals access information. The power of the Internet has made access to information more convenient and convenient. Because of the mentally of keeping up with the times, television or video becomes less popular. Secondly, in terms of behavior, journalism is also dependent on media outlets and forms a certain chain of work, that is, laborator, journalist, news. But the difference in behavior is that in today's society, news no longer requires a fixed traditional model. Next, we begin to address the three main issues examined in the model. The first is the impact of citizen journalism on traditional news media. According to the literature cited above, the personal aspect is the replacement of mass access to information, that is, the backwardness of traditional journalism channels. And then, I shared with you behavioral aspects and environmental aspects. Then citizen journalism lacks formal training, and there are many deficiencies, if not a fundamental lack of editing and supervision. Lastly, on the future of journalism, we can discuss this issue from multiple perspectives, and constructively, citizen journalism increases risk and tries to replace the traditional model of journalism. The second is demographic factors of media use and media exposure.
The data shows, according to a report by Statista in 2020, approximately 62% of news events worldwide were first reported by citizen journalists, which is about 1 to 3 hours earlier than traditional news media. The next data is according to data from Pew Research Center, the trust of mainstream news media in the U states drops from 47% to 32% between 2016 and 2022. During the same period, users' trust in news on social media has increased. The next data in 2022, Statista data showed that the proportion of fake news content worldwide increased by about 32%. According to a 2023 survey by Reuters Digital News Report, about 45% of users are skeptical of social media news because the background information of these contents is missing and the source is unknown. The last Statista predicts that by 2025, 70% of global news content will be released through social media, and the market share of traditional news media may decrease by about 30%. For example, the BBC's My News project allows citizens to upload news content. 1 year after the launch of the project, its users increased by 18%, of which 68% expressed an increase in trust. There are both positive and negative aspects to the use of citizen journalism in the real world. Earlier this year, Monty Air was charged with causing rape for alleged sexually assaulting a drunk woman and two acquaintances. These cases is very serious. The spread of false information has further caused chaos within the K-pop community, which is very unnecessary. Therefore, it will constantly remind everyone to maintain a cautious attitude when reading any news article. And another example is podcasts have further become global stars, attracting the attention of millions of people worldwide. This is one of the most concrete evidence that citizen journalism has the ability to uphold justice for those who have been wrongly accused.
The last part is conclusion and implication for mass communication. The impact of the rise of citizen journalism on mass communication. First, the rise of citizen journalism has had an impact on mass communication. First of all, the rise of citizen journalism have changed the traditional mode of news production. Secondly, the rise of citizen journalism meets the needs of the audience to actively participate in news communication. And next is learn from citizen journalism and mass communication. First point is the engagement of citizen journalism have greatly enhanced the participation and discourse power of the public. Second part is citizen journalism breaks the traditional media on news resources, and the sources of information are more diversified. Third point is we need to think critically. Fourth point is we need to learn how to filter out valuable news clips from massive amounts of information. The last point is miscommunication has extensive social influence, and media works should always bear in mind their social responsibility.
Okay, that is our group work. Thank you for your listening.
我觉得抄了，肯定还是抄了。